Hello, welcome back to the channel. It's a rather chilly but bright day here and it's time to make some more progress on the Volvo 480. Now, a lot of the work so far has been welding and things like that. Now I think it's about time we start to put things back together. So let's take a look underneath, work out what we need to do, because I think there's some brake lines to sort out, a few things like that, where we can start to get things back together. Let's go take a look underneath and find out where we're at. Now, I've covered up the axles, the ends, just to protect them a little bit, because it has been sat for a while under here. Now, with doing all of the sill work and things like that, I've kind of neglected everything else under here, because I did start to sort all the brake lines out, get those sorted. I've got a fuel filter to replace. Obviously the fuel tank is still out. Exhaust heat shield doesn't look so good, so I think that just needs to come out, to be honest. I think really what we want to do is take the rear axle back off, because it was put on as a temporary measure, and check the brake lines back there, check any other lines we want, and I think we can get the fuel tank back into place, because the underneath of this part, camera position is going to be quite difficult, but you can see isn't in bad condition at all. So I'm not too worried about undercoating and things like that on pieces that are all fine. Not gonna waste time on doing all of that. So I think we get the rear axle back off, and that means we can get the tank in and get things put back together a little bit. You know, as with most of the work on the Volvo, there's bits that have kind of slowed me down. Now this sort of torsion bar caused me all sorts of problems. It's completely seized at the top. Now, initially, in my stupidity, I ended up trying to cut the head of the bolt off. Now you can see basically all that's done is made it so that I've got nothing to get hold of. So I thought I'd better tackle this one, because it's on and I need it off, and I've been using heat and all sorts, and I don't know if you can see, but what I've done is I've used the 2-nut method. So I've screwed one nut on almost all the way, then I've screwed a second one on and then tightened them against each other, and then what I've been doing is getting a socket, well sorry, not a socket, a ring spanner onto the end and then manipulating it. And the good news is, if I go back around here, hopefully you can see it is actually moving now. So I might be able to get this jammed bolt out finally, and if I can do this side, then I can go and have another try on the other side. But it's one of these things that has just taken me so long, and I've been tackling it every now and again, and I just thought it's about time I finally got these off, because these bits have been holding me back a little bit, because I keep thinking about them and thinking, well, if I can't do anything about that, then I can't put the suspension components back into place properly. So I'm really pleased that that's now starting to move. I don't think it's going to come off easily yet. It's moving, but I suspect it's still going to be a struggle. But gonna keep going with that. Hopefully can get that away. About an hour ago, I think I told you that I was getting somewhere taking that suspension bar off. Well, I'm still going now onto the angle grinder, because I spotted the problem. What I've been doing is I've now been cutting it apart. On the inside of the bushing is a metal tube, which is what the bolt goes through. Now what I've realised is the metal tube, I think, is what's stopping the bolt coming out. So what I'm doing is I'm cutting away at the rubber and the inner fittings, and I'm going to take that off, and then I'm probably going to have to cut the inner metal tubing off on the inside. So I'm going to prise this apart. You can see I've just cut through it for now. So let's prise it apart and see what we're left with when we get the rubber and all of that out of the way. Yeah, you can see it now. You can see the problem. Our metal insert is well and truly stuck in there. Now hopefully what we can do, get the angle grinder in there, kind of cut it out. Not quite sure if there's a better way of doing it than that, but I think that's the only option really. Just keep cutting. Actually trying to get the angle grinder in is tricky, so I'm just trying to cut pieces and try to weaken it. I'm hoping that if I cut enough notches and keep working at it, eventually it'll either move or release, or at least give me enough purchase on it to move it. Yes! Finally, it's out. One side down, we've now got the other side to do and try and get the U-bracket back into shape, but finally I've got this bolt out. Now this thing has been horrible. What a horrible thing to have seized on and get stuck, but we're finally there, we've got it out, so that's good news. Here we are, on the passenger side, and I've actually cut the arm off. You can see it's in a couple of pieces. Just got the bolt still in place up there. Let's just get some light on and I'll show you. So you can see it's there, and I've been slowly trying to cut the nut off, but unfortunately using my angle grinder and cutter I just can't get in anymore. You can see because the body of the angle grinder actually hits against the U bracket there. So basically I'm a bit stuck. I've been using a Dremel as well, but that's just not got the power to cut through the metal that easily. So I think the only solution is to order some more cutting discs for my grinder and try and do that. So it's a bit of a bust really. Yeah, I honestly thought I was on the home straight with this. I thought I'd got it sussed and worked out exactly what we could do to get that part of the suspension off, but looks like it's got the better of me. I've got to admit, I have spent probably 2 afternoons doing this now, really slow going, but it's making progress. Now I had wanted to do the axle and things like that, but this is important. Got to get this out the way, so I'm going to do that, and hopefully next video we'll actually be able to make some decent progress, because it's been a bit tough going. So more on the Volvo coming very, very soon indeed. Hope you've liked the video. More progress next time.